Hello again, everyone. This is Gilmer, and this is episode 50 of my Let's Play War in the East. Episode 50. I should get a 6-pack of beer or something for that. No, I'm just kidding. I'm definitely not asking for beer or anything, but it is kind of a anniversary of sorts. But that doesn't mean we're going to stop playing. So let's play a little more and figure out if there's anything else we can do. Oh, look at that. I am attacking Smolensk. I could take back Smolensk. Not this turn, obviously, but I could very easily take Smolensk back at some point in the near future. That would be very heartening for my troops, I think. I think this turn is pretty much over in the sense of I don't really have anything else that I want to do specifically, but there was one more attack I was thinking about doing. It wasn't that one. Maybe it was this one. Yeah, it was this one. I wanted to attack this guy. He held, of course. Bastard. You're supposed to retreat. That's what you're supposed to do. No. Just kidding. But anyway, here we are. Let's get him out of the way. I don't want him sitting right there in case that guy's moved out of the way. I guess I could put that guy there. This is sad. These guys aren't gonna make it. Once snow hit, once blizzard broke and it was just snow, they started attacking these guys and they started surrendering. I don't think they're gonna make it, but considering historically the Germans got all the way to frickin' Stalingrad, wherever the hell it is, over here. And if any of you know or have played Medal of Honor, you know that Stalingrad was hell for them. I mean, I know it's a game, but you can play that game and realize that they went through hell, both sides in Stalingrad, and of course the Soviets won. They eventually took their city back and captured the 6th Army, I believe it was. The German 6th Army. That's something you ought to read up about, because if you're interested in military history, or you're even a student of military history, or maybe you're even in the armed services or whatever, Stalingrad is a perfect example of not retreating when you probably should. I mean, well, everybody knows they should have retreated from Stalingrad, but Hitler told the commander, and I don't know who the commander for the Germans was, but Hitler told the commander, hold at all costs, do not retreat. You know, if he retreated and somehow miraculously made it back to Berlin, he would have been shot for insubordination, because even though would have been the smart thing to do. I mean, I guarantee you that he would not have been a general anymore. There might have been a slight chance if Hitler had liked him before, for him to just be made to retire and get out of the army, because but he probably would have been shot. And so he was told to hold at all costs, so he held at all costs, and eventually he did surrender, and something like only 1/4 or even less than that maybe that were captured in Stalingrad ever made it back to Germany. They all died in gulags. And you know, whichever side you're for, those guys were just regular guys, most of them, probably, just wanting to get home, and they never made it. So That is probably what they call an object lesson in situations where they should have freaking retreated and they didn't, and it cost them dearly. And I mean, what are you going to say to Hitler? You're going to say you're an idiot. They should retreat, or you're going to lose the whole army. He's it's kind of like he just is saying fight harder. Just fight harder. Oh, okay. Well, that's what we'll do. We'll just fight harder. No, it doesn't work that way. Not even close. People have a breaking point, and the German army's breaking point was, in Stalingrad was, after certain months, they couldn't fight anymore. No matter how good you are, they were surrounded. And getting their heads beat in, they didn't have a chance. I'm pretty sure they were so outnumbered at that point, it didn't make any sense whatsoever for them to even try to keep it, keep Stalingrad. They had done so well. They had pushed so far into the Soviet Union, and they, it's kind of almost like a bridge too far. They had gone too far, and they, couldn't be supplied. They couldn't be reinforced or whatever. Or if they got supplies, it probably wasn't near enough. I mean, it was in the middle. I think they spent the winter in Stalingrad and just couldn't take it anymore. And I think it was 600,000 men that surrendered. Actually ended up surrendering anyway, despite what Hitler told them they had to do. Because, you get faced with reality. You can't fight anymore. You have no ammo, you have no supplies, you have nothing. You're going to fight with your hands, yeah, but the other side still has guns and ammo, and, they're in warmer clothing and everything else. So let's process a turn. And turn. There we go. I don't know. I talked a lot about Stalingrad. I don't know the first time I ever heard about Stalingrad, but I didn't realize it was so far to the east. It is very far to the east. Who's attacking them? Look at all this empty space. I mean, do they have? I mean, we're gonna lose. We're gonna lose some battles, obviously. But yeah, those guys are gone. I should have, I've mentioned it before in the beginning of the game. I should have put more forces up here to stop them from cutting off Leningrad. That's my fault. Wow. Screen went black for a long time. At least we don't have to deal with that damn dumbass, away from game graphics or whatever. It was a BNB graphics or whatever they had on that other program, and it obviously happens. Look at all that. I wonder if they're going to have any troops here. See, I kind of get the feeling that they don't have enough troops for an all-out assault everywhere along the lines, which seems a little strange, but I guess it's possible. And they're pushing these guys back somewhat. We're getting a pretty good amount of helds. $117,000 men. Yeah, we're getting pushed back some. I don't want to lose Kiev. I should probably be doing something to build up Kiev right now, actually. See, we're getting a lot of situations where we're holding. Is it blizzard again? Wait a minute. No, just snow. You can tell up here in the battle screen it says swamp snow. So that tells you that it's just snow. It's not blizzard. Look at that. If I could... I think that's my... No, that's not my men. Those are Romanians or something. I was thinking that was my people, but it's not. That's that slightly different color brown. See? Yeah, not mine. Look at that. Damn. That stat's pretty strong. Hold them. There you go. You ain't gonna take Stalingrad. You're not gonna take it. Not in this game. You might win. You might win on points. But you're not gonna... What the hell? Is that my guy? No, that's their guy. That's one of theirs. It's really looking ugly outside for weather. It's really freaking hot today. The humidity was really rough. Hope you're getting all this. I got the microphone just slightly off to the side of my mouth. I'm trying to speak up. Yeah, it was really hot today. How are these guys with 0, movement points attacking me? Look at that. 2 and a 1. I need to find out about that. Hold. Damn. Didn't hold. But he didn't rout. As long as they don't rout, I'm okay with them retreating. Routing is bad. Not as bad as surrendering, but it's bad. Damn. I still don't think they should have enough movement point. When I have 4, I can't attack anybody except maybe a hasty attack. They're attacking. They're losing a lot of battles though. I'm hoping this is really costing them in manpower. Oh, come on. Yeah. Well, at least they just routed instead of so I get to keep them, I guess. I don't know if I get them back if they surrender or not. But at least I get them back at some point. We'll come. What was that? No, this one's not a guards unit anymore or something. We're coming, Leningrad. We're gonna frickin' get you back. bastards take Leningrad, will you? I think Leningrad at that point was still. I mean, Moscow was huge, obviously, but I think Leningrad was almost as much in manufacturing and prestige, because this used to be, from what I understand, this used to be where the czars used to live in St. Petersburg is what it was called. Well, I think it's called that again now that it's back to being Russia. I think they changed it back to St. Petersburg. But there's a lot of historical stuff in Leningrad, a lot of historical castles and things like that. From what I understand, it is a much better tourist destination than Moscow. Moscow is kind of a newer city with newer buildings, and the buildings were built mostly during the communists. I might be wrong. I might be wrong on that. Moscow's a fairly old city. I mean, it's not that old, but from what I understand, St. Petersburg was much older, and it might have been the summer place where they went in during the summer. The rulers of Russia, like the czars and the princesses and the queens, the czaresses, the czarinas, whatever. Anyway, from what I understand, I don't claim to be an expert. Obviously, I say that all the time, but from what I understand, Leningrad is definitely a better tourist attraction than Moscow. It's like George Costanza said, Moscow's bleak, and when you're bleak, you're bleak. I've never been to Moscow, but I'm sure it is pretty bleak during the winter at least. Oh, come on. 100,000 to 14,000? Come on. Give me a break. They've got this built up over here. It just doesn't look like they have anybody here. Let us... I mean... They don't have anything there. Am I looking at this funny? Some good units into this area. It looks like I could really push in that area. How much is my rail cap? 52,000. Well, we can get at least this far anyway. We'll, where did I put them? Oh, there we go. We will assign them to somebody else. Now, to me, it's just going to be balance of forces and just attacking when I have superiority, because I don't think I'm going to get too many pocket chances, to be honest with you. Not until I'm able to build up rifle corps and tank corps. Tank corps is a big one, probably. because yeah, if I don't know if you can hear the thunder, it's trying to get nasty out there. If I lose power, then you'll lose me. I'll post the video, but it's at 20 minutes right now, so you'll get it. You'll at least get 20 minutes of recording. But what I was saying was the tank corps. If if a rifle division is fully supplied, I think its movement points can get up into the 20s, and with all the bonuses, whatever, with your generals and whatnot, and being completely supplied, and everything, all factors are favorable. Tank corps and tank brigades even can get up into the 40s. And I don't know if you remember the first turn, you might want to go back and look at it. The Germans' tank corps had movement points in the 40s. That's why they were able to do such deep attacks into the Soviet areas, because we were weak. The Soviet units were weak, and their tank corps and their motorized divisions had movement points in the 40s. And that might have just been for that turn, the first few turns for them, as kind of to indicate their state of readiness that was so great at the point of attacking Russia. Their state of readiness was very good. They had been building up their supplies and everything else for a pretty good while. They really wanted to attack in May, but they pushed it back to June, and their state of readiness was really good. I don't know that was just a one-time thing for the Germans for that point, but I really need tank corps. My point is, I really need tank corps to do some pocketing if I'm ever going to do it. Unless I really get a good push. Like if I were to push real good, if I had a real good push from here out and from here out, I could pocket these guys. But I don't really think I'm going to get that. I don't really think that's going to happen. This snow situation is not really helping things too much, to be quite honest. Because they almost look like they're about to get a breakthrough right here, which I really cannot afford for them to have. So what we're going to do is kind of shift the line down a little and take on that little bulge. It's a very small bulge. That's what she said. No, just kidding. It's a very small bulge, and it probably won't go anywhere, but I'm sliding the line down to make sure. Although I could move this up too. That guy's holding me up, I think. Oh, that guy is. Oh, 36-7? Really? Okay. Wouldn't it be nice to somehow sweep up through here and just capture all these, pocket all of these? Somehow this group goes to Gomel and this group goes up to Gomel and just pockets all of these bastards. They'd be wishing they had never attacked Mother Russia then, let me tell you. I'm not going to move any units up because almost every one of these places is where my units were either routed or they retreated, and I don't want that to happen. Again, I'm kind of going away from my. This is something I said was my strategy all the way back to my first Let's Play. My strategy of hit them where they ain't, and that was. And I don't know if every one of you remember it or even saw that video, but the strategy is called hit them where they ain't. And what that means is it's an old baseball term, American baseball term, where the batter would hit the ball where the defense isn't, and that's how he'd get hits. Well, the way I've applied it to these games is you hit them where they ain't, and you're able to take that, and then what they have to do is they have to come out of their fortifications and react to what you've done. And I'm not really doing that in this game, but it works better in the AJOG games. But that is kind of my philosophy. But I'm not really doing it here because I really have to cause them to I hate using the word like this because I don't think they consider it an actual word, but use this way, but attrit them, cause attrition on them, and so that's why I'm attacking constantly is what I'm trying to do is cause them to suffer from attrition, and you can't really do that if you're just doing hit them where they ain't, because their line is continuous, so there's nowhere where there really ain't. And I know that ain't is a contraction, it's a slang term, but that was the baseball player, that's why he said it, so that's how I'm using it. But it's almost a continuous line, so there's really no place where they're not, that you can take and kind of force them out of their fortifications, but there are places where they are weak. But I'm actually attacking everywhere because a lot of these units, the power that they're showing is theoretical. It's an approximation of how strong they are. See, that unit was supposed to have a power of 10, and we were able to push him back. So you just got to kind of. And that guy was a 12. Now he's an 11. You just kind of got to go with your feeling on that. That's how I'm playing this game. It's at the start of the next episode. We will, or we can actually do it now if you want. Well, you can't tell me if you want to or not, but we're gonna do it anyway. Info screens. Losses. So I've lost 3,221,000. They've lost 1,342,000. And that, what does that mean? Well, I still haven't looked this up, but I have either just over 7 million or very close to 7 million as opposed to their 3.2 million. So I'm more than double their numbers. So if I can get them to keep, I mean, I know that Romania is part. Well, how many men do they have? 583,000, 584. So all of these are basically on Germany's side. They're not really any of these are any of mine. So I'm against them all. But the German soldiers, the German units are better. They have better morale than any of the other nations. So I'm basically going up against Germany. So I kind of have a 2-to-1 edge in manpower. Now my units aren't quite as good, but that's kind of what I mean when I'm trying to cause them to have attrition. If I can get it to 2-to-1, that's or even less than 2-to-1. That really at some point, even if it's not as close to 2-to-1 as I can get it, it still means at some point they're going to get to a breaking point and they won't have enough men to replace the ones they've lost. They just won't be able to keep up. And I don't know when that happens. Hopefully it'll happen in 43 or so, and that's when I'll really start getting some movement. I think I'm doing pretty good defensive wise in the sense of where my troops are. Lost Leningrad, but I think I'll get it back. But the North typically seems to be stronger positions for both sides because it has a lot more swamp, it has a lot more forests, it has a lot more rivers, things like that, or whatever. The South, there's a lot more open, and if I can push, and I'm basing a lot of this on war in Russia, if I can push them and get into whatever Ploesti and all those are, Romania, are they in Romania or are they in Bulgaria? Whatever it is, if I can push in to there, or is there a Bulgaria at this point in the world? I don't know. Might be Hungary for all I know. But whatever it is, if I can get into the Balkans where all the oil is, that's going to hurt them as well. And like I said, I'm basing all of this on war in Russia, the Balkans, and historically as well. The Balkans have the oil. If I can take the oil from them, they're going to get some kind of hit to their readiness because they won't have enough fuel. And so that's part of what I'm trying to do is hopefully I can, now that I've, basically I've lost, I didn't lose, but the North I haven't done as well as historically Russia did, but in the South I'm doing a lot better. And if that means I'll get an earlier chance to push down into the Balkans, which if I close this out, if I can, if them not doing historically as well, the Germans in the South means that I can get down here into the Balkans and get to where is it? This is Bulgaria. There's Sofia. There's Skopje or Skopje. Does it go any further than that? Where's Ploesti? Ploesti was supposed to have a lot of oil fields. And now I can't even freaking find it. What, that is horrible. There's Belgrade. I don't even know if Ploesti is considered a large city, but I'm sure it would be represented on this map. Damn. I wonder if this is it. I wonder if that's just the Russian spelling of it. I could be wrong. Although it does kind of seem like... Anyway, my point is this is the Balkans down here, and there are oil fields down here, and if I can get down in here and take their oil from them, and what I was saying was the Germans historically did a lot better in the South than they're doing in this game, which means I might be able to push into the Balkans earlier and get them that readiness hit, whatever it is, earlier in the game, and that can only help me. There's Ploesti. It's a small. It says it's a very small town. You know, I would have thought it would be a bigger town than that, but regardless, that is my goal, is to get into the Romania with my southern troops and take their oil fields from them. And then, historically in the game War in Russia, the Germans they weren't that good and defended down here. And I don't know if that was the way it was in real life as well, but they didn't do a very good job down here. And so once I was able to break them in the south to the point where I could get into Bulgaria and Romania, they really had trouble with me. You know, the AI really had trouble protecting this area. And what I did was, of course it doesn't allow you, in War in Russia you could get into Italy and hit the troops. They were like in a big headquarters, hit the troops in Italy, but it doesn't look like it. So what I'll probably do is, if I have any kind of luck whatsoever, or any kind of good fortune in taking the Balkans, I'll have my troops move up through, move through here, move through Bucharest, come up through here somehow, either coming through here or coming through there to get to Belgrade, and then make a move on Vienna, site of many historical battles over the centuries. And it's in Austria. I'd love to visit Vienna at some point in my life. I have never done it, and I would really love to go to Vienna. I hear it's a beautiful town. Lots of great things to look at, a lot of great tourist sites in Vienna and Austria in general. I'd really love to go to Bavaria at some point as well, the state of Bavaria in Germany. But anyway, I digress. Snow, still, ice, snow, ice, snow and ice, and forecast of snow. So that is it for tonight, because I'm at 38 minutes. I've talked a long time, but I feel like I'm giving you the background of my thought process on what I'm doing in the war. Up here, that's hard to come through and see how all the woods and swamps and lakes up here. It's very tough to move through here against a determined opponent, a determined defender. But down here, as you can tell, there's a lot of clear hexes. Some mountains, but a lot of clear hexes. And yeah, I'm looking forward to it. I'm looking forward to getting down into the Balkans. Well, anyway, I'm going to call it here. Thank you very much for watching my 50th episode, the 50th anniversary of my first War in the East Let's Play. It's kind of an anniversary. So, thank you for watching, and I'll be back.